All right, FightHype.com here with Vito Mielnicki Jr. Vito, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having me, man. We're at the house. You invited me, bro. Thanks a lot, man. What's going on, bro? Coming off that win?
Yeah, feel great coming off my second professional win. First round knockout again, and I can't wait to get back in the ring soon.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So we'll get into the fight in a second. I wanna ask you some questions because before, I think the last time we spoke, you were like looking to get signed.
Yeah.
And since then, you've gotten signed, and all types of cool stuff has happened. So what went into that decision-making process with PBC? Was it always a foregone conclusion? Like, did you know you were going to PBC, or was it something you weren't sure of? How'd that work out?
I mean, it wasn't we didn't know who I was going to sign with. It was just in terms of the contracts, getting the contracts from all the companies. Like I said, the top three that we're looking were Matchroom, Top Rank, and PBC. But yeah, I mean, PBC, they brought a lot to the table for me. They brought me in as family as soon as we started talking with them. So I'm excited to be with them, and I feel at home.
So Matchroom was in the mix?
Matchroom was in the mix, yeah.
Who came in like second place?
I don't know. I just think PBC was so much further ahead that they were just in the rearview mirror for me.
Now here's the question. So you weren't signed your first debut or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Were you getting offers prior to that?
We were talking to the company still before my first fight, but with that first win, it was like they had something to look at for me. So I guess that's what helped me. Them looking at that helped me also with signing with PBC. So,
because that was my question. Like, I would imagine that if you were in talks prior to the first fight, right?
Yeah.
After that first fight, because that was like, what was that, like an ESPN top 10 thing? I mean, it kind of went viral.
Yeah.
Like, was there a big difference in how those negotiations played out and all that?
Well, my team handles the negotiations and stuff like that, but obviously the calls were coming in a lot more after my first fight. So, but yes, I saw the difference in like my status of who would sign me right after the fight.
And was that by design? Like, okay, we're not going to make any decisions before the first fight, and it paid off, or was it coincidence? Or?
I wouldn't say it was like a plan, but it was like just something that we had in mind, I guess. Just let's fight my first fight and then see what people have to offer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So since then, I've seen you like kind of making some ins with some of the PBC guys, particularly Tank Davis. I want to ask you a little about that. But who are some of the cool guys you gotten to talk to? You gotten to know? You know, some relationships being built there.
Yeah. I mean, just the head of the company, Al and Louis DeCuba. They already brought me in, like I'm a star for the company. But me and Tank have gone back, like way back. So for him being with PBC and being like with Floyd, but with PBC too. But like he'll always support me. I always support him, and I don't know. He's like a brother to me.
I didn't know that. I thought that maybe he saw that fight, and that's kind of how you guys get. So you've known Tank for a little while now?
Yeah, me and Tank traveled when I was young to tournaments. I won my first national tournament with him, so that's a memory for me with Tank.
That's funny because it's kind of an odd couple. You and Tank Davis. You wouldn't automatically associate Tank Davis with Vito Mielnicki, but he does show. It seems like he shows genuine love.
Yeah,
man. So that's pretty cool.
It's all love with Tank. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. And who are some of the other guys, man, that you've gotten to chop it up with?
My Adam Kaunaki, actually, me and him actually have talked heavyweight with PBC. So, I mean, those are the two that I've really talked to, like more. Like I went to see Adam's fight, and I saw Tank there actually in the stands. So it was actually me and Adam talked in the locker room before his fight, and he's Polish, I'm Polish, so hope maybe we can fight on the same card one day. Sell out the arena.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. And prior to you going into this fight, there were talks that you were actually going to be on the card, this weekend's card, Spence versus Porter. and that didn't shake out. Do you know? I mean, I think the reports were that you just simply weren't old enough to fight. So what was the deal with that?
Yeah, just I didn't get consent, I guess, from the state of California state of California for me being at my age 17. So that's it. That's what happened, and then we found a spot on the ShoBox card, and that's what happened.
Okay. So here's what I noticed, right? I mean, I watched the fight, another first round knockout.
Yeah.
Sick. What have you gotten a chance to watch it?
I've watched it. Yeah, I've watched it a few times.
Okay, so what's something that you did in the first fight that you did like almost exactly the same in the second fight? I don't know if you call it that.
I think it was a pull right hand.
That slip counter, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've always worked on that, so I've done that since I was really young. So seeing it transfer into the pros, it could almost be called like a signature move.
It feels like it. It feels like it's a punch you're very comfortable throwing.
Yeah.
The first fight, that was the punch that started everything, and then this one, that's what put him away.
Yeah, I think the hook actually, I dropped him with the hook. I dropped him first with the hook, and then the pull right hand. That's what ended this fight, but it was the opposite of the first fight. I think the first fight, I finished him with a hook.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So and you know, I would imagine same thing as last time. You win that fight, your phone's blowing up.
Yeah.
Crazy love from. What did it feel like, man, going out there, being able to duplicate that success you had?
Yeah. I mean, it felt great. I'm completely confident going in, knowing that I'm capable of doing that. But just the love after was unconditional from the people around me, people at my school, my family, my team. My team and family always be behind me, so that's good knowing that.
So we have a pay-per-view event coming up this weekend. At some point, I would imagine you're going to get so big that you're probably not going to be watching many of those at home. Are you going to watch this one at home?
Yeah, I'm going to watch this one at home. I was actually thinking we were going to go out there, fly out and watch the fight live, but you know, this is a rest week for me, so I'm just going to sit back and relax, watch the fights at home.
So who do you got, man? I
got Spence. I think he's technically sound, and I don't know. I think he'll pick Spence-Porter apart just because he's technically sound and he'll outbox him, but he could also brawl and be a dog if he really wants to in that fight. Which I do feel like there's going to come a time in the fight where it's going to turn into a brawl just because of Porter's style.
Are you picking Spence by decision, knockout? How do you think it plays out?
I'll take Spence by unanimous decision just because I respect how much of a dog that Porter is.
Okay, yeah. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
Are there any talks of you getting in maybe with other welterweights that are from PBC from those days with you maybe working with some of those guys, sparring any of that stuff?
I would love to. We haven't really talked about that, but I would love to work with guys like that, Spence-Porter. Even going down, not even just training with guys like Tank, just being in that atmosphere of a world champ. So I think we'll be doing that too.
We got another fight, big fight coming up. Newark native Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
I know you have a relationship with him too. What's your take on that fight? What's your take on some of the beef, some of the back and forth between them?
I mean, I don't really know much about the beef, but I think that Shakur is just different. He's just. I think he's gonna outbox him, but I think he could embarrass fighters like this who. I mean, Joe Gonzalez isn't really talking as much as what Shakur is, but you know, I just think Shakur is just he's gonna be at the top of that division. So I'm gonna take Shakur by unanimous decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The amateur stuff. Where are we at with that? Who are some of the guys that you know coming up in the amateurs? Who's some of the guys that we need to look out for? Who's some of the guys that when the games come up you're expecting to medal?
Yeah. I'm looking for Keyshawn Davis and Troy Isley. Keyshawn Davis, he's special. He's different. Troy, I love Troy. Me and Troy have went to tournaments together, so I see them medaling. I see Keyshawn and him going for gold.
And what were your thoughts about? Because I saw Shakur on Twitter. He was like, you know, it was Shakur and I forget who else, another pro fighter, going back and forth. They felt that on his most recent fight against the Cuban guy, I forget his name, that he should have maybe got that decision. It didn't go his way. What are your thoughts on that? The amateur system?
Yeah, I think that the amateur system is political, a bit too political. Like, I think the Cubans are gold medalists. I think 2-time gold medalists. But that tournament that Keyshawn was just at, I think his first 2 fights, he beat a Rio Olympian. He beat like a gold world medalist or something like that in the fights before the Cubans. So that just shows how much talent he has and how special he is. But that Cuban fight, I thought was close, and I thought he pulled it out.
You thought the Cuban guy, the Keyshawn pulled it out?
Keyshawn pulled it out, yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
I think they fought 3 times. I think all 3 were close.
And do you remember what the record is on those 3 fights?
I don't know. I have no clue. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what else do we need to look out for in the future? What do we have going? I know you mentioned a big announcement coming up soon.
Big announcement coming. My team, we're working on my next fight date. So that, and hopefully some more news for you soon.
So we're probably talking, like, if we're saying a big announcement, we're probably talking on the undercard of like a bigger fight.
I mean, hopefully that's what my team's gonna help me do. So that where they're gonna be in charge of that, and then they'll let me know. I'll train and I'll fight. So that's it.
All right, my man. What else we got going? Where do we follow you?
Follow me at Vito Mielnicki on Instagram. Follow me at Vito Milenicki Jr on Twitter. And shout out to FightHype and shout out to Dark Horse Boxing.
How do we get this White Magic merch, man?
White Magic merch.
You never mentioned it.
Yeah, you could get it at whitemagicmerch.com. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is a hoodie, a sleeveless hoodie. I don't know. The back.
There you go.
Yeah, so yeah, you get it at www.whitemagicmerch.com.